Assalamu alaikum. We have a fun little video today, a new format, a different format than what we are used to. We're going to present a video from Dr. Saleh Fadel As-Saamirrai. He is one of the premier Arabic scholars who are living today, contemporary scholar originally from Iraq, and he has spent more than 50 years dealing with the Quranic Arabic, widely recognized as one of the best authorities on the Quranic Arabic. So what I've done is I will play the video, and down below in the bottom part of the screen you will see the actual translation word for word for the parts that he is speaking. Of course, this comes from a larger video. The original video that was released only 3 weeks ago will be provided as a link in the description box down below. So if you want to see the full video, which doesn't add a whole lot of information regarding this specific topic, you can see the original that was released, as I said, 3 weeks ago. But the excerpt that I'm playing, I've extracted the parts that are relevant to us. Basically, Dr. Saleh Fadel As-Saamirrai is confirming a very essential aspect of the methodology that we use, a very essential principle, which is the principle that all the stories of the Quran, all of the parables of the Quran, are included in the Quran, expressed in the locution of the people about whom these stories and parables are expressed. So you will see with your own eyes, inshallah, and you will hear with your own ears how this scholar agrees with how we interpreted the stories of the Quran. We will start, inshallah, with playing the video, and you will continue with us all the way to the end. Please stay all the way to the conclusion, because we will wrap up with some important conclusion, inshallah. And as usual, we start with the dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. So as I mentioned, the title of this video is a major contemporary scholar of Quranic Arabic, Dr. Saleh Fadel As-Saamirrai, agrees with our claims and our disclosures and discoveries about the original locution in the dhikr, in the stories, Quranic stories and parables within the marvelous Quran. I want to remind you that we have fully covered this ayah, which represents the theoretical foundation for this discovery. This ayah is 14:4 from Surah Ibrahim. And we fully discussed this ayah in YT20 and YT93. Please refer back to the channel page. If you have not already subscribed, we really appreciate it if you would subscribe and click the red bell button so you receive the latest on our disclosures and our publications. Alhamdulillah, we have all the notes in our website, www.marvelousquran.org. You can get all the notes of the prior videos, and inshallah you will take advantage of the community forum, etc., etc. So ayah 14:4, as we explained in these prior two videos, we have covered this ayah, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ فَيُضِلُّ اللَّهُ مَن يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Never have we sent in this Quran about a messenger except in the locution of his own people. This is exactly how we translated this ayah, how we interpreted this ayah, to refer that the stories about the messengers, all messengers, including those who were sent as Nabi, messengers to specific groups of people with specific mission to accomplish. So therefore they are Nabi, not just Rasul. All the stories about those people, those messengers, were reported to us in the Quran using the locution of their own people, so that Allah exposes to them meaning to the people of such Nabi and messengers, meaning Bani Israel before the followers of the Quran, and then Allah misguides whomever He wills and guides whoever wills to be guided. And He is the unassailable, the source of linguistic discernment, Al-Aziz Al-Hakim. So we've discussed all of these details in these two segments, YT20 and YT93. I highly encourage you to watch these two segments in association with this fun little segment that we're presenting today. So before we get into the video, let me explain to you what the issue is all about. What is Dr. Saleh As-Saamirrai discussing? So the main issue relates to ayah 2063 from Surah Taha. So it says in that ayah, قَالُوا إِنْ هَذَانِ لَسَاحِرَانِ. And this is typically translated as they, meaning Pharaoh's magicians in that story, in that part of the story, said about Musa and Harun, those two messengers, or at that time they were prophets, Anbiya. They said about them, these two are but magicians. In هَذَانِ لَسَاحِرَانِ. And this is the common variant reading from Hafs. And it is pronounced in هَذَانِ لَسَاحِرَانِ, as you see it. And I'm really encouraging you to pay attention to the spelling and the exact pronunciation, because that's the crux of the issue. And this is another way of writing how we spell it. It's not how the Quran spells it. But in another highly accepted variant reading of the Quran, it says قَالُوا إِنَّ هَذَانِ لَسَاحِرَانِ. Inna. Notice in this variant reading it says in. In this variant reading it says inna. Both are acceptable. Both are widely used among the Muslims for the last 1400 years, and both are indicative of the meaning of this sentence. The meaning of the first variant is these two are but magicians. In the second variant, it says indeed these two are magicians. So the meaning is very, very similar, very close, except that the spelling and the way the composition is expressed is slightly different. Now, where's the problem? The problem is in this variant reading right here, inna hadani lasahiran, inna hadani lasahiran. The controversy is that according to the standard Arabic grammar rules, nahu, it should have been qalu inna hadaini lasahiran, not hadani lasahiran, as you see written in the actual Quran. So hadaini is the more adequate standard Arabic nahu, according to some of those people who objected to the Quran. So therefore, this is the issue. The issue is, why did the Quran include inna hadani, according to one variant reading, instead of inna hadaini, this ya in here? So notice how the part in blue is spelled or pronounced differently from that part. So this is the problem. I hope you understand. This is the whole issue that Dr. Saleh is discussing in this video that we're going to watch together, and which I'm going to translate to you exactly what he says about his interpretation as to why the Quran, at least according to one variant reading, said inna hadani, not hadaini. So with that, let's play the video and we will proceed to show you at the bottom of the screen the exact translation of everything that Dr. Saleh is saying. So as you see, the transcript of the excerpted video from Dr. Saleh Fadel As-Saamirrai is going to be shown at the bottom. I will be scrolling and highlighting very slowly to make sure you're able to read exactly what's being said. Of course, those of you who speak Arabic will follow it in Arabic, and you're going to be amazed at the direct relationship between what Dr. Saleh is saying and what we have been claiming for the last 2 years on this channel. SubhanAllah, this affirms a major part of the methodology, and you will judge for yourself. So here we go. We start.
سؤال دائما يثار يا دكتور، احدى القراءات بالقرآن الكريم في قوله تبارك وتعالى إن هذان لساحران، فيها قراءة إن هذان لساحران. فهنالك إشكالية إعرابية تحدث وتثار هذه القضية كثيرا حتى على الفضائيات. كيف نفهم قوله إن هذان لساحران؟
So the main question that's being asked is, in this variant reading, إن هذان لساحران, there's no problem, of course, in the rules, grammar rules, but in the other variant reading, inna hadani lasahiran, there is a common grammatical controversy that's often raised against the Quran, of course, by people who don't understand. Now, Dr. Saleh is going to explain and answer his point of view, and then he's going to proceed to give us his opinion regarding the locution that's being used in this expression, inna hadani lasahiran. So we'll continue.
حقيقة هذا السؤال يثار كثيرا.
نعم صحيح.
يعني قراءة حفص المشهورة والمثبتة هي إن هذان لساحران.
نعم.
إن هذه مخففة من الثقيلة، واللام الفارقة
في لساحران.
لساحران.
نعم.
فليس فيها أي يعني إشكال أو سؤال. الحقيقة هنالك قراءة أخرى صحيحة يعني متواترة هي.
نعم.
إن هذان لساحران.
أنا أود معذرة نوضح للسادة المشاهدين والمستمعين الكرام إن ما الإشكالية تكمن في كيفية عمل إن، ما عمل إن في الجملة؟
لا شك أنها هي تنصب المبتدأ وترفع الخبر.
يعني تكون الآية خارج القرآن.
هذين.
إن هذين لساحران.
نعم.
تمام.
إن هذين.
هذا هو اللغة.
هذا اللغة.
اللغة نعم.
يعني هذا جانب من اللغة الحقيقة.
ليس اللغة. طيب.
جانب من اللغة.
نتعلم. تفضل.
هناك تخريجات كثيرة صحيحة.
نعم. طيب.
لكن الحقيقة هناك أذكر أمر حقيقة.
نعم.
إن يعني من أقدم أدوات الإيجاب، بمعنى نعم، من أقدم الأدوات.
نعم.
في العبرية هن، في الآرامية إن. فإن في الأصل هي عبرية، يعني مو في الأصل، يعني في العبرية موجودة بمعنى نعم.
هن في العبرية بمعنى
نعم. وإن في الآرامية إنه يعني هن نفسها. من استعملها؟
من؟
قوم يعني فرعون على
سيدنا موسى.
لأن هذا لساحران يخرجان. استعملها كما استعملها العبريون القدامى لهذا المعنى.
عجيب.
نعم هذا لساحران. هذه هي عبرية.
وتكون إن هنا بمعنى نعم. هذان
لساحران في العبرية القديمة.
عجيب سبحان الله.
في العبرية القديمة.
نعم.
وفي الآرامية. واستعملها للعبرانيين كما كان يستعملها القدامى. هذا من أعجب التعبير.
عجيب سبحان الله. وطبعا والذي استخدمها فرعون سيدنا موسى كانت لغة موجودة عنده.
طبعا هي اللغة
يعني بلغة عصره.
بلغة عصره.
إن
كما استعمل الزوج بمعنى السيد بمعنى الزوج، كما استعمل الملك وفرعون.
نعم.
كما استعمل هامان، كما استعمل العزيز. يعني هذه المفروض هي مما يدل على الإعجاز.
لكن يعني لنا أن نسأل أن القرآن قال بلسان عربي مبين.
صح.
وأن العبرية
هي عربية أيضا. وهي موجودة في العربية.
موجودة في اللغة هذه
وهذه.
نعم.
موجودة هي.
لا تنافي إذن حتى مع بعض الألفاظ الواردة في
القرآن
لم تكن عربية.
هي قديمة ومشتركة باللغات السامية.
اللغات السامية اللي هي اللغة العربية والعبرية والفارسية.
الفارسية لا.
العبرية والعربية.
الآرامية موجودة مثلا يعني الأكدية يعني البابلية.
نعم. لغات قديمة.
لغات قديمة.
نعم.
فيعني هذا هو من أعجب الاستعمال حقيقة. تأتي هنا. يعني
حينما قيلت هذه الآية إن هذان لساحران في عهد المصطفى عليه الصلاة والسلام، ما ثبت أن كفار مكة اعترضوا وهم أهل بيان
لا، هم هي لغتهم.
يعني جاريا على لغتهم. هذه لهجة عندهم.
نعم لغة موجودة. نعم. موجودة. وفيها تخريجات. وفي إن بمعنى نعم عندهم.
نعم.
فليس فيها إشكال بالنسبة لهم. لكن الغريب أنها تستعمل في هذا الموطن يعني.
عجيب. مع موسى وفرعون يتكلم هذه اللغة، يتحدث هذه اللغة.
غريبة يعني.
والله لفتة تثبت وجها آخر من وجوه إعجاز القرآن الكريم.
لا شك. يعني هو هذا المعترض لو كان يعلم ما كان يسأل أصلا. إذا كان إذا يعني كان إذا مغرض. أما يعني الجاهل يسأل خلاص.
طب ما وجه الإعجاز؟ يقال مثلا سيدنا محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام ربما تعلم هذه اللغة ونقلها.
هذه لم تعرف إلا في الدراسات الحديثة.
عجيب.
نعم.
عجيب. لم ينص عليها الأقدمون بأنها كانت.
لا.
الله أكبر.
هذه في الدراسات الحديثة علمت هذا الشيء.
جميل ما شاء الله. أحسنت وأحسن الله إليك.
بارك الله.
All right, so as you see, Dr. Saleh As-Saamirrai confirms clearly that at least in this one story Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the locution of the original ancient quote-unquote Hebrew language expression from the time of Musa and Fir'aun. So that clearly tells us that the linguists, those who are specialized in understanding the language of the Quran, and he is qualified par excellence. No one can deny that. Although I don't always agree with everything he says, and I will talk about this in just a couple of seconds. But in general, when he's talking about the language of the Quran, at least for this issue, he confirms that the Quran used an original locution that was not even known until in very recent studies. So therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using such expressions in the stories of the Quran, using the expressions of the original people of those stories. And this is exactly what we've been claiming about the Abrahamic locution. And this is what we started with over 2 years ago on this channel in YT20. And we also developed it further in a whole playlist that you can find on the channel related to the Abrahamic locution. And we expanded it in a full theoretical elaboration in YT93, a 3-hour video that I promise you is worth your time if you have not watched it. Even if you have watched it before, go back and watch it again. I highly recommend it because it's full of treasures. So in conclusion, I want to remind you that this video came to my attention only recently. As a matter of fact, the video itself was released 3 weeks ago. And as I said, this proves that a major Arabic grammarian scholar, perhaps one of the most highly recognized such scholars today, agrees with the concept of dhikr being composed using the expressions of the people mentioned in the stories themselves. This also confirms why the vast majority of scholars are hushed, are silenced by the ilm that we have been presenting on this channel. They have absolutely nothing to say against what we're saying because the evidence is right in front of our eyes. And this scholar, alhamdulillah, I'm not sure when this session or when this original interview was recorded. I suspect maybe 15, 20 years ago, because I've seen more recent photos of him and he looks much older today. But perhaps 20 years ago, he knew, but could not develop the full theoretical platform to really apply it to all the stories and really extract all the knowledge that Allah has allowed us to extract on this channel, alhamdulillah. And that's why all the major scholars, all those who really know, who understand, have nothing to say against what we are presenting on this channel, alhamdulillah. This confirms furthermore that this ilm shall be spread far and wide. I promise you, Allah promised us, this is part of the awakening of the phase 3, the new era of human awareness, inshallah, that we are pioneering with your help. I ask you to help us. Please don't forget before the end of the year to join us on this website, marvelousquran.org, www.marvelousquran. You can subscribe, you can donate, you can support this effort, this mission. We are working for the long run. We're not working for quick generation of viewers and subscribers. We are looking for serious students of this ilm, for serious supporters who believe in this ilm, who believe in the future of understanding the Quran based on this ilm. And finally, as a fun fact, I don't know if you caught it, but Dr. As-Saamirrai slipped and made a major mistake. Most of you who have been watching this channel regularly should be able to detect it very easily. So I hope you will detect this major mistake and please write to me via email. Don't write on the comment stream. Don't spoil it for other people on the comment stream. So you can write it to me via email. As I said, it's a major mistake that he fell into because he is only a linguist. He's not necessarily a specialist in the history of the Quran or the history of tafsir. I gave you a huge hint. Inshallah, you will take it and run with it. With this, we come to the conclusion of this segment. It's a brief, fun segment. Inshallah, you will enjoy it. And if you watch it again, you can watch it slower perhaps. and we say the dua, Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lihada, wa ma kunna linahtadiya lawla an hadana Allah, laqad ja'at rusulu rabbina bil haqq. Thank you so much for watching. Salamun alaykum.